you know,
give me a guess. How many K do you think a race bike for a Pro Tour team gets ridden every year?
A rider.
A rider. How much would a rider ride?
20,000 kilometers a year on the women's side, and then the men's side even higher.
That's crazy. Hey, what's up? Chaz here. We are at the Team SD Worx mobile service course. They're one of the most successful women's road racing teams. And today we get the amazing opportunity to walk through some of their race bikes with Sam from SRAM Racing. So we're gonna check out their Roubaix bike, and we're gonna check out the bike that they use for flat road stages. So let's go find Sam and check it out. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe. I'm here with Sam. How's it going, my dude? Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
And we're gonna go through these two SD Worx team bikes, but what is your role here? What do you do with the team?
So we're here at Flanders in the lead up to all the classics, looking after all of our SRAM and Zipp road teams. We're here today with SD Worx, supporting the mechanics, making sure they have the right equipment, tools, the bikes are set up correctly, and making sure they have nothing that stops them winning the race.
There we go. Cool. So we've got two bikes here. What are we working with? These look amazing.
Today we have two bikes. So this is their standard road race bike, which you'll see at, most of the races all the way through the year.
Well, this is the bike they would be using for pretty much all the racing, the specialized Tarmac. But then the wheels are the thing that they would add on, the wheels and gearing for dependent on the stage. So right now we've got the 454 NSWs for the flat aero stages, right?
Correct. Yes. Anything with super good in crosswinds, so especially racing in Belgium or Holland on the flat roads. With the new tubeless technology, it allows them to run the aero wheels even on the rougher roads because they can run lower pressures, so super comfortable still. However, they don't lose any rolling resistance or anything like that with the tubeless.
90% of the stuff that the Pro Tour team rides, the average rider can also ride, but there are a few specific things that are special for the Pro Tour teams, especially the World Championship level teams.
This cassette is given to riders that have won a World Championship. So this team is one of the most successful teams that Chaz touched on earlier. They have numerous World Championship riders on their team. Chantel, Van der Breggen last year.
Give me a guess. How many K do you think a race bike for a Pro Tour team gets ridden every year?
A rider.
How much would a rider ride?
20,000 kilometers a year on the women's side, and then the men's side even higher.
That's crazy. So most cyclists struggle to get even close to 16,000 kilometers a year, if that. I don't even do that. No. But they're riding almost double that, and they have multiple bikes. But the stuff and it has to get washed every time, and it has to kind of go through the ringer after every race.
Travel, in the back of the truck from race to race. These bikes do get used and abused.
And these truck drivers do not drive slow. Let me tell you something. I've seen it happen. It's mildly terrifying. So SD Worx runs exclusively time pedals.
This team was actually been using time probably the longest on the World Tour.
Yeah.
They've been on them, several seasons.
And what do we have here? What are they running on this bike?
This is the top of the range X Pro 15 model. So this pedal has a titanium axle for weight, and also ceramic bearings for the efficiency.
All right, so we've got the Roubaix bike. This is a little bit different bike, right? Why don't you walk me through what the team has going on here?
Yeah, so it's actually quite a bit different. So it's a completely different frame. For Roubaix, they use the specialized Roubaix, for the namesake. On the frame, the difference, this is more built for comfort rather than, speed, but still considering speed. We have the Future Shock here, which offers extra damping for the riders over the extreme cobbles. A few different things from a Zipp point of view. We go to the 303 Firecrest. It offers a wider tyre bed, meaning that we can run a wider tyre for the extra comfort.
And they're actually running a wider tyre, right? This is a 700 by 30 as opposed to the 700 by 28s they're running on the...
This is a 32.
Oh, that makes sense. Yes. They want all the volume they can get. So you're running a wider rim bed and a wider tyre for a much shorter but wider contact
and
patch.
Lower pressure.
And lower pressure.
Where we saw roughly 4 bar on the race bike, on the road race bike, this can be as low as 3.4 bar, so quite a considerable drop in pressure. Last year they had some extreme conditions, it was all about survival, right? And that doesn't just go for the rider, that goes for the bike and the equipment, especially the wheels. The wheels are the closest thing to the ground. The tire wheel combination is really important.
And so drivetrain wise, they're actually running almost the exact same thing as they're running for the flat aero race bike, right?
Yeah, so for Roubaix, we have with our teams, we have a real mixture. You know, some of our teams go for a 1x setup because there really is zero climbing.
Yep.
And then some of our teams also go for the 2x just because it's what they're used to, right? That's what they use day in, day out. So this pedal, yeah, still super light, not quite as light as the 15. You don't have the ceramic bearing, you don't have the titanium axle. This is a steel axle. Again,
but it's the hollow steel axle, right? So
correct.
It's still incredibly light.
Still super light, still lighter than most pedals on the market. The benefit of this pedal is it's our workhorse pedal. It really is robust.
What's going on up here? We got Zipp, bar stem, we got a lot of other stuff going on.
With this bike, it goes with a Zipp bar and stem. So this is a SL70 bar, so it's a slightly different shape, slightly narrower for this particular rider. We don't generally see shifters on road race bikes up here for the Pro Tour.
Not since 1999.
They spend most of their time in the drops or on the hood, so they have the shifting billet here, or they have our new wireless blips as sprint shifters here. But for Roubaix, they spend a lot of time on the tops, on the cobbles for the security, you know, and having the ability to shift like that.
All right, so we just went through the Roubaix bike and then the flat aero stage bike. The team SD Worx is going to be using very similar bikes, but very different Zipp wheels for very different jobs, kind of like a Swiss Army knife. Sam, thank you so much for walking us through everything.
Good to have you.
If you have any questions or comments about the stuff we talked about today, drop them in the comments. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe. Till next time, making you faster.